keep the deal with the Europeans. Joining us now is Illinois Congressman Kinzinger, a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. So, Congressman, the EU apparently is trying to do an end run around us on the deal and keep the money flowing both ways. Do you think this will work?
Not really. So look, the EU, they're our friends, but they've never been known for being on the cutting edge of foreign policy leadership. And in this case, they're looking at Iran, and they're not looking at the behavior, 500,000 dead Syrians, partially because of Iran, the threat to Israel, Yemen, etc. They're just looking at it from an economic opportunity. So they may think they're going to be able to end run, but truthfully, when it comes out that you either can choose to do business with the United States of America or do business with Iran, I think they're going to make the right choice, which is let's go with America in this case, because not only is their behavior better, their economy is about a bajillion times bigger than Iran, and it matters.
Yeah, they deal about $25 billion worth of trade with Iran versus $720 billion with us, and we're already seeing some European companies, pull out.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, look, if you want to do business in Iran, I get it, but the fact is they have a government that has decided to destabilize the Middle East. They've threatened our allies in the region. And again, they've created, I think, a whole new generation of terrorists by what they've done in Syria with Bashar al-Assad and with Russia. And so what the Secretary and the President have done, which I think is correct, is we've rearmed our, in essence, chamber of rounds to shoot at the Iranian regime, and that is the economic rounds. So we're saying we're going to take these sanctions, we're going to reenact them again, but now we're not just going to do a flawed nuclear deal, we're going to include your behavior in the region, and Iran has a choice. And I think if they come to the table with an administration that is serious about doing this, they will have to come to the conclusion that it's either the economy or their behavior, and trust me, the people in Iran who have risen up just 6 months ago because they're tired of being cheated by their resources, I think will make that decision for the regime.
Well, this isn't what was supposed to happen. I mean, we were told by the Obama administration that their behavior was going to change.
Right.
That they were going to join the family of nations, and instead you talk about demonstrations. Let me show you some videotape that's happening over this weekend. Iranians, according to the resistance, they are out on the streets protesting. They say that police snipers are killing demonstrators. At least 3, if not more, have been killed. And here's what Mariam Rajavi, the head of the opposition, the National Council of Resistance of Iran, states about that, saying, quote, "Change in the behavior of the mullahs will inevitably lead to the change of their regime. Democratic change in Iran is the only solution to the problem in Iran and the crisis in the region. Forming an international front against the religious and terrorist dictatorship in Iran is requisite for establishment of peace, security, and coexistence in the region and the world." She talks about a united front. How do we achieve that? How do we create that? Do you see that happening now to push the regime?
Well, some major things have happened now. First off, the Saudis and their allies and our allies are united with the likes of Israel, which 10 years ago was unheard of, against the Iranian threat. The Europeans will come around because I think they're going to have no choice but to come around. It's ultimately this. We have to make a choice as a country, and I think the president has made the right choice. Either we're going to believe the kind of musings of the left that if you just treat dictators like they're special, you give them all this aid, you give them all their economic aid, they're going to join the family of nations because somehow that's going to lead them to this rainbow solution, or the realistic right that looks at foreign policy and says America can create a more peaceful and more stable world by coming at this with a position of strength. And when you come at this with strength and say, look, leaders of Iran, you may not like this, but you don't have a choice because we have a bigger economy that God gave us, so good luck with that. We can actually change the behavior in the region by compelling it through those carrots and sticks.
And you're right about a rainbow. There's a rainbow for Tehran. At the end of that rainbow is the pot of gold, but they haven't changed their behavior yet. Congressman Kinzinger of Ohio, thank you so much for joining us.
Anytime. Take care.
Of course.